Hi, I'm Mark Iskowitz, editor-at-large for MM+M, and welcome to this vodcast sponsored by Havas Health. At MM+M, we just wrapped up our biggest issue of the year, the June Agency 100 issue. And Larry, my colleague who puts together the agency network family tree, along with a bunch of other components to the issue, told me that it's starting to look more like a forest. There's 13 health agency networks out there. And today we're going to talk about some of the changes happening with one of the most mature of those networks, Havas Health. In May, Havas Health and You dropped the NU from its moniker, along with a number of the brands that have been under its umbrella. And we're going to talk about what this new approach means for Havas Health's people and clients. And joining me is my special guest in the studio, Eric Weisberg, who's Global Chief Creative Officer of Havas Health. Eric, welcome to the MM+M studio.
Thanks. Nice to be here, Mark.
So let's just start off, Eric, and talking about the first question for you here. How has Havas Health evolved over the past year in terms of its size, its clients, and its competition?
So I think to look at that is to start with the fact that Havas has been in the business of health communications for over 35 years. So from the birth of when there were health and wellness communications, and the focus of building Havas Health into the largest health and wellness communications company around the globe has been global expansion. Largest in Asia, largest in Europe, largest in the UK, largest in North America. That has given our clients access to health and wellness expertise in more places than everywhere else. But over the last year, the sort of changes in health and wellness communications have made a shift from global expansion into going deeper on the things that are transforming health and wellness communications. That's creativity, that's CX, and that's data.
Mm-hmm. So it's no longer about, sort of just that big idea of the interplay between, the visual and the copy. It's really creating great connected experiences.
That's precisely right. Before, clients looked to consolidate at global networks that gave them a way to be able to have one campaign or one core concept that could live across all of the places, regardless of local laws, local regulations. That's not any less important than it ever was. Mm-hmm. But now more than ever, clients want to put data, CX, and creativity at the center of things. And the expectation is they aren't going to be giving up anything by going with the biggest. And that's where we've gone deeper on the things that are transforming health communications.
So Eric, I'd love to talk to you next about what's driving that consolidation. You consolidated down to three pillars, Life, Links, and Jacques. Talk about what prompted that move.
So look, it's the most exciting time to work in health and wellness communications. It's also the most complicated. And you go back to what Larry said when he was looking at the landscape, that it looks more like a forest. That's what Havas Health and You look like. We had 35 different brands around the world. We were becoming, because of the growth spurt, we were becoming more difficult to navigate externally and internally. And so what we've done is look to simplify and differentiate our offerings. And there's three core agencies that are being launched around the world. Havas Life, which is the global health powerhouse. Wherever there's life, there's Havas Life. You see Havas Links, which was born in Manchester as a digital-first agency, now expanding around the world and expanding its capabilities. The core differentiating part of Links is that it becomes a health transformation expert. And then the third network, which we just launched, which is Jacques, aims to be a health and wellness disruptor. In a world where every brand is a health brand, Jacques is going to put creativity at the center of everything that it does, and it aims not just to do the best work in health, but the best work in the world.
So Havas Health, I would imagine, has operate under one P&L like many networks, but now you're aligning under something called One Havas. And can you talk about how that enhances your capabilities, your offerings, and ultimately your client work?
I mean, Havas has always been the most integrated by far of any of the networks. But we're moving to a place where we're not just taking one philosophy, one culture across Havas. But now we're moving to a place where there will be one operating system across Havas, one unified operating system for that brings together health, that brings together consumer creative, that brings together CX, that brings together media. Mm-hmm. One set of tools, one set of nomenclature, one operating system that is solely focused on delivering the best work for our clients.
Switching gears for a second, Eric, can you tell us how does the rebrand align with your network's belief that health is a right and not just a privilege?
Yeah. I mean, you cannot be in the world of health communications for more than a couple minutes before realizing that there are haves in health and there are have-nots in health. And we, as the world's largest health and wellness communications company, see it as both a responsibility and an opportunity for us to help close the health equity gap. We're doing that in everything. We start that with every strategy, looking at how we're not just going after the largest patient populations, but the populations that are most in need. We're also doing it in things like the launch of Welltainment, which aims to move from advertising to entertainment-based education. We're living in a world where 55% of the media that we consume isn't ad-supported. So advertising that isn't the solution, nor is advertising that's about fear. How can we create gaming and episodic television and sports and documentaries that aim to close the health equity gap by bringing education and entertainment together?
Closing the health equity gap through joy. I like that.
Exactly.
So, Eric, how was the name Jacques Séguéla chosen as the namesake for one of the new agency offerings? And how does his legacy kind of influence your vision?
I mean, I have to say, one of the biggest privileges of coming to Havas 2.5 years ago was meeting Jacques Séguéla. Jacques Séguéla is the father of creativity in European advertising. He is the S in RSCG, and he just turned 90 last month, and yet he still comes in the office every day.
Wow.
And then I discovered something amazing about Jacques, that Jacques isn't just the father of creativity. He's also a pharmacist. His mother was the first female surgeon in France. His father was a radiologist, one of the sort of innovators of radiology at the time. And so you take him as a pharmacist and this life of health, and you take his creativity being behind some of the most famous campaigns in the world, and you think we have an amazing opportunity to create a health and wellness disruptor agency in his namesake that proves that creativity, in Jacques' words, creativity heals everything.
So Jacques Séguéla really had quite a legacy of healthcare in his family tree. Can you talk about how Havas Health puts creativity at the center of everything you do?
Yeah. I mean, look, there is a creative awakening in health communications. It's why I'm here. It's why so many new people are coming in to Havas Health from all different disciplines. We're going at creativity a bit differently. Our goal is to not just create creativity that aims to get the most awards at any show, but is to bring creativity and innovation by doing really incredible work for real clients with real scale. And that has been a big part of what our transformation has been as a network. It's not just to put metal up on a wall, but it's to see if we can shift creativity so that health and wellness isn't following the world of creativity, but it's leading the world of creativity in business. The launch of Jacques and the launch of his spirit of creativity being behind so much of what we do is just another part of how we're investing in creativity more than just about anything.
So following up on the Jacques Séguéla legacy, what kind of lessons from his life and career and philosophy do you feel are most pertinent to the challenges that one faces in health and wellness marketing today?
Yeah. Jacques has been creating advertising for 65 years. He's made 1,500 campaigns. His legacy is the founding of one of the largest global agencies in the world. So to try to sum it up in one sentence or 8 seems almost unfair. But I think when I think about him, I think about his love of the idea. And when I think about the evolution of creativity in health and wellness, it's about moving from very executional work to very conceptual work. And his belief that he has he has something that he said to me when I talked to him a couple of weeks ago. He said, only ideas make money. Mm-hmm. And I think his whole point is that creativity has the power to reach people in a way that ordinary work doesn't. And when he says that creativity heals everything, he means the power of an idea is the power to build a brand, but is also the power to bring people from sickness to wellness.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's not just tactics and execution, as you said. It's really the concept, the idea, and everything flows from that.
Yeah. I mean, this is a man that built modern automotive advertising, mm-hmm. that built modern political advertising. He did the advertising for over 20 political campaigns. He has brought disruption and transformation to everything that he has done in his career.
Sounds like a very fitting eponymous name for this disruptive agency.
Up on the wall at the Jacques agencies around the world is a simple question. What would Jacques do?
So let's double click on this new agency, Jacques. Talk about how the Jacques agency will disrupt the norms in healthcare advertising, specifically, and how will it bring a unique perspective to healthcare marketing?
Yeah. I think there's a simple way to sum it up is I hope the Jacques agency will be about scrupulous rule breaking, about how we look at the sea of sameness in health and wellness advertising and how we look to responsibly break down any of the barriers that are stopping health and wellness brands from doing the best work in the world. We're living in a time where Apple is making its biggest bets in health. So is Amazon and Google. We have got to be creating for health brands the best work in the world. And that means moving beyond advertising to entertainment, to experiences, to content, to CX, to utility. And to me, breaking the rules means creating an end to the sea of sameness, the dogs running on the beach, the happy couples jumping into pools. It is about creating real brands that are going to make a real difference in people's lives.
Absolutely. With all these mainstream consumer brands now in health, traditional health brands must up their game in the communications department.
Hell yeah.
Eric, before we let you go, we'd just like to ask you to take out your old crystal ball here and talk about what you see for the future of creativity and innovation and how Havas Health is best positioned to lead the charge there into this new era.
Look, there's a bunch of forces at play. Technology and innovation is at play. Content is at play in the future of health. Patient centricity is at the center of everything we do in life. And I'd say we're entering the superhuman era, where health is not just maintaining our life, but it is about extending life. It is about bringing things into our lives that are actually going to help us live longer. There's a book that was written by Ray Kurzweil, and there's a amazing quote, and it says, "We have to live long enough to live forever." And we're seeing these tools in the superhuman era to help extend life in ways that none of us ever understood before. And that is a combination of drugs and connected health and population health data all coming together to help us lead longer, fuller, more vibrant lives.
The future is integrated. Okay.
Well, no, I mean, the future is integrated. Like the joke said, we're moving to a place where on our phones exists our own personal health ecosystems. We used to have all of these connected devices around our lives and connected data sets that lived at different hospitals and different doctors. They're all coming together. And the magic of AI and machine learning is it's going to take all of that real-time data, all of that historical data from your family and your life, and it's going to help start predicting what health issues you're going to have and how you can get in front of those instead of behind those.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's been the promise all along, and now it's finally happening.
Right. That's the realizing the vision of the connected self and the retrospective look at data. It's using it to predict the future and how we can make smarter choices, right?
Yeah.
And a healthier lifestyle and all of that.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. We used to talking about, did you get in your 10,000 steps today? That's not the power of health data. The power of health data is predicting whether you're going to get a heart disease or diabetes or rheumatoid arthritis or any of those things that you can get in front of with lifestyle changes, with the right medication, with behavior change. Yeah. That's the magic of connected health.
Right. And when people get to be my age, you're using your smartwatch, not because it looks cool, but because it can detect AFib.
Exactly.
It's interesting to see how it all is coming together.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Eric, thanks so much for putting into perspective the changes that have occurred from a reorganization standpoint at Havas Health, as well as how the agency is well positioned to bring disruption and much needed change to the healthcare marketing landscape.
My pleasure, and thanks for all that you guys do at MM+M and Haymarket to inform us and inspire us about where the future of health is going.
You're very kind. Thank you. And thank you, everybody out there, for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it as well.